He pulled the trigger, and that was the moment Mike Demir died. The year was 2025, a classified military complex on the northern Iraq border. Through the green, static-filled world of night vision, everything existed as nothing more than digital ghosts. Mike Demir moved with the silence and speed of a wolf, sliding down the ventilation shaft. His body, made of pure muscle and years of experience, passed through the narrowest gaps without a single sound of friction. The target was in the room. Mike pulled the trigger of his suppressed rifle. One breath. One kill. As the body collapsed, Mike breached the room. But in that exact moment, a sound rose from the adjacent chamber. A baby crying. A thin, high-pitched, innocent wail that shattered Mike's professionalism like glass. Mike lowered his weapon. His hands began to shake. He had fired thousands of rounds over 15 years. But this sound tore down every barricade in his soul. In that moment, he understood. Operator Mike had died in that room. 6 months later, Seattle, USA. As Mike stood at the airport exit, the gray skies of Seattle looked like a sanctuary to him. A quiet escape, a lie he wanted to believe. He wore a civilian jacket, and in his pocket, his discharge papers. Now, Mike Demir was officially a nobody.
Brother!
Lara lunged from the crowd and threw her arms around Mike's neck. Lara was Mike's only vulnerability, the last clean page in his life. She opened her home to him. Mike did not argue. Lara's apartment was modern and peaceful, a warmth Mike hadn't felt in years. But that massive military discipline fell into a void in the stillness of civilian life. He couldn't stay home. The echoes of that baby's cry drove him into bars, seeking the numbing embrace of alcohol. Every night, Mike was dragged into the bars, trying to drown that cry in the burn of whiskey. One evening, Lara smiled excitedly at the dinner table.
I met someone. I'm happy, Mike. I want you to meet him.
Mike took a sip from his glass and forced a smile.
If you're happy, little one, I'm happy.
He had no idea he had just signed her death warrant. Mike was out again that night, trying to drown his past under the dim lights of the bar. It was long past midnight when he stumbled into the apartment. As he reached the door, he stopped. It was ajar, just by a finger's width. Despite the alcohol numbing his brain, 15 years of predator instincts snapped him awake. He pushed the door slowly. The metallic scent of blood burned his throat.
Lara!
He turned on the light, and the world ended for Mike. Lara lay lifeless on the white rug, her body cold. Mike collapsed to his knees. That lover she mentioned, was it him? It didn't make sense. Not to her. She was a humanist, a soul that loved every living creature. So compassionate she wouldn't even hurt an insect. She was someone who never even touched a cigarette. Someone so perfect, so pure. A soul like that couldn't end like this. Not in this pool of red. Mike could no longer hold it in. That man of stone held his sister's body and wept, sobbing uncontrollably. The war-torn rage he had buried for years finally poured out with the helplessness of a child. He tore the necklace from Lara's neck and put it on his own. As sirens screamed in the distance, Mike made a choice. In seconds, his military discipline burned through the fog of alcohol. Like a predator, he moved through the room, erasing every trace of his military past. He left behind nothing but a grieving brother. When the police stormed in, Mike was slumped over Lara, broken. The next day, in the interrogation room, the detective asked, "Where were you, Mike? Which bar were you passed out in while your sister was being murdered? Mike said nothing. He only looked at the empty file on the desk. No traces, no leads. Mike understood then. The police had time, but Mike had none. After the funeral, under the misty Seattle rain, Mike buried his sister. As the earth was thrown over her, he made a promise. Not to the police, but to the girl beneath the soil. Leaving the cemetery, he threw away the last bottle of alcohol in his pocket. For Mike, sleep was now forbidden. The war for Mike Demir was only just beginning.